Well, I bought a project today, and it might not be what you're all expecting. The title to it is right there in my toolbox. And yeah, it's in the back of the truck. It's that kind of project. Well, let me show you what it is. It's a 1974 Honda XL250 with 1,700 original miles. That's right, 1,700 original miles. I think a cat had been peeing on the chain and caused some rust on the spokes. But the wheel and everything is all good. And I mean, look at this thing. Last used was '08. The guy had it up north at his cottages where he rode it. So anyway, we're gonna get it going and riding, and then maybe next winter restore it. I do need to clean the tank. It's got some minor rust in it. The gas is a little stinky, but not too bad. He said it was running and riding last year, and he wiped out and bent this, put this dent in the tank, and just slightly twisted the fender. But you can see this fender, you know, that just proves the mileage. Look at that metal on there. Look how clean that is. And I got to get a key for it. He couldn't find the key. He said if he finds it, he'll give it to me. But anyway, it sounds like some animals are fighting over there. Show a little bit of the front here too. It needs fork seals. You know, it needs the obvious for something that's 50 years old. This bike is 50 years old. So yeah, it's not going to be turnkey perfect. But for what I paid for it and what these things sell for used in this condition, I feel like I got a really stellar deal on it. The seller just called me and said he found the key. So I'm going to drive back over there and get the key, and maybe we can see if we can get this thing started and fired up. And I got to get it out of the truck. It's all undone, so I can't go back over there with it in the truck. But anyway, yeah, I'm super stoked. A good cleaning, get it running, and then maybe next winter repaint the, you know, all the black like I did the 175 and the crankcase, and clean everything up and polish it and get everything looking good on it, and sell it. Well, the owner found the key and called me up, and I went and got it. He said that thought that no, the owner's manual wasn't in there. He didn't know if it was or not, but that's where the battery goes. This is the tool kit, so it doesn't have a battery, so I'll have to get a battery for it. But I don't know, maybe it'll start up. We'll see. Keys in it, keys on. I'll give it a kick or two just to see what it does. I'm going to kind of move it here so I can get to the Kickstarter. And I think I'll open the door up here too, just so if it does start, doesn't stink the garage up too bad. Pull the choke. That's on. Throttle doesn't appear to be wide open. Let me check the oil level on the crankcase. I looked at the oil, but I didn't check the level. I looked at it when oil's full. Get the stick back into its proper spot there. All right, let me get the stick in. Okay, and the fuel's on, and I can smell a little bit of gas, so maybe I ought to turn the fuel off. And how do you like that? Push the choke in. Sweet. How do you like that? Sweet running engine. Well, don't have to get it running. I was going to give this a pressure washing today, but it's just too cold and wet. So anyway, I just been going around fooling around. I just took some chrome polish, and you see some I didn't wipe off there, but look at how the chrome cleans up like brand new on this. I mean, literally. And that was just using some of this on a paper towel. And look at how that chrome cleaned up. Look at this shack here. I thought that was not going to be, you know, because it looks pretty nasty, but look at how clean that comes. And the shack fork seals need to be replaced, so it needs the front brake lever, the grips. The throttle was sticking, so I took it apart so I could lubricate the cables. I tried to clean around in the carburetor there and clean that up, but it was still sticking. So anyway, I'm lubricating the cables, and it's starting to free up now. But I think it's just from all the years of inactivity that's done everything. But anyway, I ordered fork seals, the nylon seal down in the bottom of the fork that, you know, these are basically a shock absorber, and they're rebuildable. So I ordered the kit to rebuild these. I rebuilt them on my 175. It's kind of normal maintenance on these bikes. Ordered new grips. Ordered both the clutch and the brake because, you know, that's kind of beat up looking. I ordered these. This stuff's like $9, $10. I think these were 12. These were 9. The grips I think were 23. All the fork stuff for everything to repair the forks was about $30 less the oil. I ordered some other odds and ends. I just kind of gave the bike a quick go over. Oh, I ordered a battery. No, I didn't order a battery. The battery hold down, there's a plastic cover that goes over here that's missing. It goes from here to here, and so I ordered that. That's going to go out. This takes a 6N63B battery. The connector that goes from here to the battery is missing, but I'll just make one. That's not green is ground on Honda, so that will be ground. That will be the 12 volt. And then I ordered the rubber strap that holds the battery in. And see the air intake for the carburetor. It does have a new air filter in it because I did take that off. Oops, I just knocked the plug out of that connector, and that's a green, so it's a ground. Anyway, it's going to be all coming apart. I'm going to, basically my goal is to get it in good running order. Oh, and I ordered a 74, bought a 74 Michigan plate on eBay. So Monday, hopefully I'll get, this next week, get down to the that's a little bent. Get down to the Secretary of State and get the title transferred, and I'll get it insured. And then I'll send off the paperwork to Lansing to get the 74 plate registered to it. It'll be road legal. We can take it out and ride it. And I did ride it around a little bit here in the driveway, as you can see. And it seems to run and drive pretty good, other than the throttle was a little sticky. It doesn't stay where, you know, it's just in the low end. You can turn it, it'll like be like a fast idle. But anyway, I want that to totally return. And you can see the choke. And then the throttle. Oh, that's starting to free up a little. Whoops, my oil just dripped out of there that I squirted a bunch of oil just to kind of let it run down I twisted it and it came out. But yeah, I think that's gonna, I don't think it's the carburetor that's sticky. I think it's the cables, just from lack of use. So anyway, we'll get everything lubed up here. So we're plugging away at it. Oh, and I think I said I ordered the cover for there's a cover that goes in here that's missing. Obviously we'll get a battery. I'll just get the battery locally at the auto parts store. It's that needs a little lubricating too, because that doesn't spring back. It should spring back. It's springy, but it doesn't spring back. Yeah, you can put your helmet on there. But anyway, yeah, I'm super psyched that the chrome on this bike just cleans up like new. I have a feeling once I wash it and clean it up, it's going to look pretty good, but I'll repaint the frame and buff everything and clean everything when I do it. Repaint the exhaust like I did on the XL175, repaint the crankcase covers, and this is a little different gray or silver that's on than on the 175. This is about the same. This is different, but I was looking at the XL250s online, and that's the way they are. This is correct. And also I found the same bike that sold at Mecum with 3,000 miles on it for $7,200, and one that sold on Bring a Trailer that had just over 3,000, like almost 4,000 miles, and it sold for $6,800. And I've had offers of $6,000 on my XL175 that I've turned down, but I think this will, when I'm all done with it, I think it'll pull $5,000 or $6,000 without a problem. And yeah, I'm doing it to sell it, but I'll ride it in the meantime. You know, once it runs, it rides. Like I say, I've ridden it around the driveway here. I didn't want to take it out on the road because it's not road legal, but we'll get everything. The grommets for these need to be replaced too. So those little rubber grommets right there, these ones are completely gone on the speedometer. They're rotted away, so I'll order them too. So I'm just, as I'm working, I'm seeing a couple extra things. I'm sure I spent $120 on parts so far, and probably end up spending another 100 or so, but that isn't bad. You know, for what I paid for this thing, I think it'll be a good money maker, I hope, and hope to make a little bit of money on it. I have a lot of hours into it, but yeah, he had feral cats that were coming out in and out, opening of his garage, and I think a cat had been spraying on it, and that's what kind of did all this in back here. And so I'll probably, I don't know what we'll do about, probably paint the hub because that was originally painted. And the spokes, I don't know, maybe have them re-chromed or clean them up and paint them. We'll see. This is not a polished, this is kind of, that's actually the way these were originally. And so anyway, there we go. I'm just kind of going over my new little project here so you can see what I'm going to do, and then I'll probably upload this video so you can see my new project. And oh, and I took the plug out of the float. I put a little pan here and turned the gas valve on, and it came out clean out of the carburetor. There is a fuel filter back in here. I found one. Probably eliminate it because these didn't have a fuel filter there originally. Right there's a fuel filter. There's a sediment bowl right there. That's generally all you need. There's a screen in there, so I'll take that all apart and clean it, and we'll get the tank cleaned up. And I gotta grease this fitting right here. That's for the clutch. And the chain needs lubricating in the area where it was, where the cat was peeing on it. Where the cat wasn't peeing on it, it looks pretty good. But yeah, it's a shame, real shame that happened, because that really kind of, he showed me photos of it that he took last year before the cats got to it, and it really looked nice. So yeah, it's just, what a shame these animals just ruin things like that. So anyway, but that's gonna clean up. We'll get that cat mess cleaned up. This part's okay. And this, you can see the paint's actually peeling off. There's bare metal right there. I can just flick the paint off with my finger. So I'm gonna have to take the trailing arm off and paint it. I'll paint everything. I mean, you know, why not? It's not that big of a deal to take a bike down to the bare frame. And we'll get this thing all spiffied up. I've been working, taking a dent. There was a dent here, and obviously this dent, which I'll probably try and fix once the tank's off, clean it out, so I can, you know, I'll have to get something that I can push down in there and then try and push that up. But got this, and I've been in here just trying to push this dent out, and I got most of it out. I got 90% of it out. So I think I'll do the rest when I take the tank off to clean it. And Yeah, and get that dent out and the tank will be fine. You can still see a little bit of the dent right there. I don't know if that shows up in there, right there. But that was a pretty good sized dent, and most of it's out. I'm gonna try and get it all out and try and get this out too. And then I think this I'll just buff out. I'm not gonna repaint it. Just give it a good buffing, and I think that'll clean up and look good. Most of it's just Mars in the paint. A lot of it I can clean off with my finger. This is just tiny little bits of surface rust, and that cleans off with my finger too. I can do that and it comes up nice and clean. So I think the tank will clean up nice, but we'll do that once we take everything apart to do a restoration. First got to get going, but the throttle is almost, it's just that little bit now that sticks. So we'll get that. You can see the oil's starting to run down the cable now, so it's getting through. But that could be in the carburetor. It could need cleaning, you know. I mean, that could have some gum in there, and we'll worry about that when we take things apart. I think that remaining hang up is in here. I don't think it's in this. This turns really free up here, so. But at least it goes, the throttle works smoothly now and goes back to idle, and I've just been kind of putzing around. All the switches, all the stuff works. Even though there's not a battery in it, I could give the motor some gas, get the alternator going, and I could get the lamps, they wouldn't blink because they're just glowing dim, and I could get a little noise out of the horn. And obviously you saw the headlight works low on high beam. This works to kill. So everything, I adjusted these cables a little bit, seeing if that would help. I adjusted the position of these a little bit, you know, to where they'll be more comfortable to operate, and we'll set it all up to where I like to ride. But this thing's gonna clean up nice. Yeah, it's a cold and miserable rainy day, so it'll be probably tomorrow I'll make some more video and we'll get some of power washing the bike. Another day I'm going to run to the auto parts in this and get some oil and see if I can get a battery and some engine cleaner for that, and take it outside and pressure wash it. So let's get the Bel Air going here. Put my seat belts on to go. But anyway, we're just gonna do you a cold start here. Once to the floor on the accelerator. Hopefully it goes right off. There we go. Alright, we're gonna off to the auto parts. Oops, radio's starting to play. Yep, draining the oil out before I pressure wash it, so if I get oil everywhere, that's cleaned off too. I don't have something to fit that, so I'm just going to use my big crescent wrench. That's the oil filter screen, so I'm going to take that out and clean it too. But I'm going to let the oil drip out for a while, maybe an hour or so. Try and get all that old nasty stuff out. You can see it's not the cleanest oil in the world. Got the little oil filter thing out that goes in there, little spring and cap. So anyway, I'm going to clean this out and clean everything up here, and then put this back in. Like I say, just let the oil drip out for a while. Much cleaner. And I'm going to spray this out too. I'm going to lean the bike over. I don't know. Well, it looks like most of that oil that was in there probably went out the drain plug. Yeah, I'll just give it a quickie. You can see it's running out the drain plug there. We'll let that evaporate out, and then I'll put the there was Teflon tape on it. I thought that was aluminum on this, and it wasn't. It was Teflon tape. There's still a little, they had Teflon tape around these threads, so maybe that O-ring leaks. So anyway, maybe I'll see if I can find a new O-ring for it. I poured a little bit of clean oil in there just to make sure everything was out, and it looks like it is. It's not dripping anymore, but this is what I'm putting in it. The bike recommends 1040, and I just think this is a good oil. I use this in my XL175, so that's what we're gonna put in this. All right, let me get the plug in and I'll fill it up, and then we'll give it a good cleaning. There, now you can see. Yeah, that made a big difference, cleaning all this crud up. This thing cleaned up nice. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll blow it off with some compressed air, and I might have to take the cover off the points and blow that out. I stuffed this full of paper towels and put tape over it, so hopefully nothing got in the carburetor. But these things are designed to run in the wet, so hopefully that doesn't kill it too much washing it. But yeah, I think I'll take a scrubby thing and clean these spokes, because I can just do that and that surface rust comes free, so maybe I can clean them up. I'll have to repaint this, repaint the trailing arm at least. The rest of the frame's pretty good. Maybe repaint this skid pan, and just for the most part though, I think we'll leave a lot of the frame original. It looks pretty darn good, you know. I mean, it doesn't even have 2,000 miles on the bike yet. So there we go. All right, clean, pressure washed. This is the next day. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and when I changed the oil, and I didn't want to run the pressure washer because some of the neighbors were having barbecues and stuff, and that would have been obnoxious to run that loud pressure washer just to clean this on Mother's Day. Anyway, there we go. Looks nice. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Picked up a battery for the bike, filled the acid. It said to let it sit a few hours and then top it off and then charge it, and that's what I'm doing. And it said to charge it a few hours, so it's charging, there you can see it. It's about 1 amp, and it's 60% charged. It's been on there about an hour. It said it takes 2 to 3 hours to fully charge it up, so we'll just let the battery maintainer go until it's charged, and we'll install it in the bike. There you can see the new air filter. There's a bolt missing here for this, so I'll have to get that, and then there's I think a bracket and a bolt that goes in the back there. But anyway, we'll get those, and that's no big deal. But I was going to put the airbox cover back on and put the seat back on and warm it up, and then yeah, it's cleaned up pretty darn nice. We'll warm it up and dry things out. It's been sitting here most of the day. Just washed the car and cleaned up a few other things while I had the pressure washer out. These spokes cleaned up all right, but I think I'm going to have to take some fine sandpaper or something, and I'll just paint them in the hub, and I'll mask all that off for the wheel. Well, seeing I'm probably going to replace the chain with an O-ring chain, but I found this, so I'm going to lubricate this chain just for now. It's just so hideously dry, and why not? It'll make a mess, but at least it'll be oiled. But you can see where a lot of the paint from the cat pee just came off, and I'll have to bead blast all those components and whatnot. Yeah, this chain's really dry. This makes a mess of the wheel. That's why I use O-ring chains. Alright, you get the picture of what I'm doing here. Yeah, put what, maybe a mile and a half or mile or so on it. But yeah, the run started right up. That was cold start. 80 degrees out today, but that was cold start after washing. It sat there a few hours drying out, but yeah, one hit the way she went. So yeah, we'll get to looks pretty good, but we'll get taking it apart in the future here. I'm going to get it road legal, take it out on the road and see how it goes, and then we'll tear it apart and restore it. Well, the battery's getting there. It's charging at 4/10 of an amp and it's 80% charged, so a little bit it'll be fully charged. And I got a whole plethora of parts coming, and so we'll get to working on it after I get some parts. So this next week I probably won't do much. But yeah, oiling the chain I think helped. It rolls easier, and the bike looks good. It looks 100% better just washed. I can't get over what a difference just cleaning it up made. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. This will be part 1 of the Honda XL250 restoration project bike that I got here. I've done a number of motorcycles. I've done most all of them Hondas, in fact. I've done a couple, I think a CB350, a CL350, 305 Scrambler, my XL175 that I bought brand new, this, and I don't remember, I think one other bike, I don't remember, I'll have to look and see, but I would buy them and fix them, clean them up, and sell them. I haven't done another bike like this in quite a while. I think the last one I did was a CB350 previous to my XL175, which I did about 5 years ago, restoration. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you like it, hit that like button. It definitely helps me out. And if you like my channel, want to see this bike out cruising, hopefully tomorrow the title transfer goes good. We'll get it insured and plated so I can ride it. But anyway, if you like my channel, that 348 engine icon will help you subscribe. And thank you for watching my video.